seemingly as the people rack up literally one after another with the companies that Meghan and Harry seemingly do offend. If you don't believe me, just look at the things like Vanity Fair. A few years back, they were wild about Harry with her, giving her everything she wanted. Only earlier this year, they decided to attack her on an unprecedented level, basically saying they were useless and they hadn't achieved anything after 5 years after departing the British monarchy. But it's fascinating to see, in many respects, the decline. But are both Harry and Meghan these, shall we say, directors of their own downfall? Let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to have your company. We'll have a lovely wave. And thank you, as I say, for taking the time out. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. It is an interesting thing, this, isn't it? Because you've had it all and seemingly time and time again, you keep bleating it and blowing it away. Only last month, 2 months ago now actually, in December, Harry sat down with a guy in the New York Post and basically twittered on about, how he wants privacy and all these just complete poppycock nonsense, because he's talking, of course, about also how people were willing him and his wife to divorce and how he feels sad for them because suddenly, this doesn't happen and all that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I certainly don't wish that on them. But what I do think is odd is the fact that they can't stick to a relevant story. You see, when Harry and Meghan recently, of course, decided once again to let their children be available on this social media platform, Instagram, this really riled against a company that had gone out their way to assist them on a big level. Oh yes, we're talking, of course, about CBS Sunday Morning. Do you remember the prestigious thing late last autumn? Well, there was Harry and Meghan talking about exactly the evils of social media. And there she was, directing, dictating, and of course, telling the world what she thought about how she'd scratched the surface for her particular problem. Never really reacting to the woman or the man next to her at all. No empathy whatsoever. Directly talking to the presenter, which I thought was very strange indeed. Moving forward though, this is where it gets really fascinating, because behind the scenes, I spoke to a director and a person working on that show who basically said that they contacted both Harry and Meghan with regards to this. And the thing that they wanted, you see, and this is, when you think about it, this is not exploitation on every level. This was really the narrative of their chat, their show. And as you remember, Harry basically said that, all parents need to be first responders if they've got a problem with social media and how they were protecting their children. Oh, they're just magic, they're 5 and 3, Meghan ghost, literally within a matter of weeks prepared to dump them on Instagram for exploitation. But when they asked both Harry and Meghan, is there any way we could just show a reflection of your family life, just a picture of your children, you with the children, whatever? Affirmative, no. That was the whole point. They were not going to be doing this. And this really was very difficult because obviously other people in the group on the CBS show had allowed their children to be spoke about openly, pictured, because of course, very, very sad and tragic stories, as one can imagine. So moving forward, when you think, this is another company I've been told that really would not be interested in cultivating, working, or indeed moving forward with the likes of Harry and Meghan. Seemingly because on the one hand, they're basically trying to protect their children, which is what they're saying. But, this was a big thing for them to appear on. The show is quite prestigious. So even just a small new picture, maybe even taken from the back, they weren't asking much, but basically it was a no. Fast forward a few weeks and literally Meghan and Harry, well, whether maybe her more than him, well, now they're quite prepared to let her daughter appear, all in the name of clicks. And more importantly, as I told you recently, the agency's pulling the strings and Meghan's desperate at any cost to keep that going. Now, how does Harry feel about that? And more importantly, what about the people that they were supposed to be talking about protecting? Strange, don't you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.